we were talking about mind. Charlie, you have to fix your internet.
I do.
You disappear again and again.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know what
No.
happens. It keeps dropping, but I'm here. I'm in spirit,
Yeah,
if not body.
yeah. So the mind, when we were talking about this mind, so our master says, Manohi dividham proktam, ashuddham cha ashuddham eva cha. Mind is of two types. There are many ways our masters educated us about the mind. So this is one way. The mind uh, is impure, and when the mind is impure, you do whatever you want to do. You cannot be in a state of happiness and peace. And when the mind is pure, nobody can dare you to make you unhappy. So further he explains that the mind, ashuddham cha kama sankalpam, the impure mind has a desire, or I can use the word undesirable desire. Honey, can you make me happy? Undesirable desire. John is. No, son, can you make me happy? Dad, can you make me happy? We are begging happiness and peace. Not at all possible. Money, can you make me happy? Well, include the money and the possessions. So, if I use the word, that would be a right phrase. Undesirable desire. And the undesirable desire causes the projection of happiness and peace in others. And that is where the problem lies. The problem starts, it never comes to an end. You have a desirable desire, need for the food, need for the company, need for having a relationship, but maintaining the peace and happiness within you is the way of the Eastern wisdom. So sometimes people have difficulty in understanding. So I created a metaphor of lane number one, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. That enters into the mind. And it's a common, we all have a mind. Since we wake up in the morning until we sleep, the mind has unwelcome, unwanted thoughts in you. Constantly. And the lane number two of the mind is nothing but the intellect. You should understand that structurally, if I use the word mind is one, functionally it is four. Structurally it is only one. Like, like I'm a teacher, I'm a husband, and I'm so and so, so. So structurally we are one, but we have different roles. So lane number two is the intellect, where you place the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. And lane number three, I did not explain lane number four, that we will explain later. Lane number three, where the knowledge is realized. Pay attention. No, don't pay attention to me. What I'm saying, pay attention to what I'm saying. So, knowledge is realized, I said. Now you see that, who is this? He's a John. So that knowledge is realized in lane number three. After that, the thought comes to an end. Who is this? Oh, here's John. Here's Charlie. Finished. Do you see? Knowledge. So when the knowledge of the real self is realized, you are in the state of permanent peace and happiness. That is known as awakening. That is known as the highest state of mindfulness. Now, why I use the metaphor of a lane 1, 2, and 3? We can move instantly in a fraction of a second with the lane 1 to lane 2 to lane 3. That is why I am explaining in the format of lanes. The moment we have anxiety, stress, if we invoke the knowledge, we move to the lane number 2 instantly, without any effort. But question comes, why it doesn't happen? Because of the impure mind, because we are obsessed with it, because we are attached with it. That is why it is not happening. Lane number 1, unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. I like something, I dislike something, I hate something, I love something, and a long list, and it causes the attachment and detachment. What is attachment and detachment? The mind keeps on thinking. You have one unwanted thought, and then you keep on thinking. Honey, I don't agree with you. And then you have a dislike. Then your mind keeps on thinking about it. You are cooking something in the kitchen, but mind is cooking everything about your honey. Unnecessarily. This is unwanted thought. Tell me if it doesn't happen. It happens to everyone. You cannot deny that. So that is why the masters are asking, switch on to the lane 2. Don't keep on thinking. Because it is an undesirable desire. It is an undesirable desire. So it is very easy to make a distinction between the lane 1 and 2. So that will help you to understand. That is why the Buddha, we discussed before, that is why the Buddha said, please don't blindly believe what I say. Don't believe me because others convince you of my words. Don't believe anything you see, you read, or hear from others, whether of authority, religious teachers, or the text. No blind belief. He says you have to contemplate and reflect, you have to reason, you have to understand it, and you have to apply that in your life. If the experience tells you that this is what the right knowledge is, then you follow. Otherwise, there is no need. No need to practice even meditation, mindfulness, if it doesn't work, provided you have contemplated and reflected from all the possible ways. Now look at the impure mind and the pure mind, the lane number 1 and the 2. It is all about our daily living. Lane number 1, have a strong feeling of likes and dislikes, attachment and detachment, and impulses, instant impulses. Lane number 2, reasoning, knowledge, clarity. Both is the mind. In both the cases, I have to think. But what is the direction of my thinking, that makes the difference. Strong likes and dislikes, by default it comes. As long as this body is, we will have strong likes and dislikes. You cannot deny it. But with that likes and dislikes, you drop by understanding, or you continue with attachment and detachment. You create impressions that is accumulated in the mind, and it takes the form of impulses. Does it make a sense? On the other side, lane number 2, reasoning, knowledge, and clarity. So with that, strong likes and dislikes and attachment and detachment, the mind creates the unfounded worries. That is the definition of anxiety in the modern science. Anxiety is unfounded worries. There is no basis. See the other comparison. Uncontrolled emotion, feeling, and the thoughts, impure mind. See the other way to second thing of impure mind is uncontrolled emotions and feeling. Mind is uncontrolled. How dare you say? After all, he has said, he already dared, he already said it. Or she already said it. Do you see that? I forget myself. I live unconsciously. Let them say, I cannot stop the mouth of others, but I know who am I. Where is the problem? But it doesn't happen because uncontrolled emotions, feelings. Where is the lane number 2? Controlled. Uncontrolled thought, feeling, speech, and action. We don't realize we are a human being. We have an intellect. Intellect is free to choose. We have a chance. We have a choice. We don't use the chance. We don't use the choice. Third factor, impure mind is always reactive. Lane number 1 is always reactive. Lane number 2 is always responsive. Find out last week how many times you were reactive physically. Physically, we are human beings, so we are intelligent, so we cleverly hold our reactions. So we don't do any physical reaction. What about mental and emotional? What is cooking on in your mind? That is what I'm talking about. So reactive. And the mind, lane number 2 is always responsive. It watches. It is careful. It's a red light. Wait. Now it is yellow. It is still wait. Now it is green. It becomes responsive. By thought, by feeling, we can make the mind responsive. That means the intellect. If it is reactive, there is an emotional dependence. If it is responsive, it is an emotional freedom. Do you see that? So how many times we responded to an outer situation, to the people, to the things. And if the people you dislike, you have kept on brooding over that guy, you can think of what will be the response. It will not be the response, it will be the reaction. Do you feel I'm stupid? You know, this is a common phrase. How dare you see that I'm stupid? Emotional dependence and emotional freedom. Lane number 2 is offers the knowledge in any situation, especially I'm talking of the human intellect. We don't use it, we don't apply it, we get carried away by the lane number 1. And that reactive thought, feeling, and action is nothing but the impulses. In a very simple language, they are impulses. That is why another way to understand the lane number 1 is blind. Lane number 2 is always open. Eyes are closed in all directions. Eyes means mind's eyes are open. Blind mind, stop asking the questions. Have you seen, I'm very lonely. I have all frustration. I have lot of problems. Have you seen those people, pessimistic people? You might have met here and there. Their mind is totally blind. They don't want to open up. Our world is full of suffering. What to demand from the world? They become great philosophers with a big face, pessimistic views. It is a blind mind. An open mind, reason, you ask the questions to find the cause, even if there is a slight fear, anxiety, duality. No, let me understand my mind, why I reacted to you, why I entered into an anxiety. Think. And again, I'm reminding you that it is the same mind which has the 3 lanes. What it means? That we have to think to enter into stress, and we have to think in a different way to enter into peace. That is what the contemplation reflects. Thoughts are common. We use the same alphabets. To be in peace, we use the same alphabets to be in stress. So when we have a blind mind, we stop thinking. So what we stop thinking, we have already branded. Person A is crazy, he made me crazy or she made me. So that is end of my understanding. Whether the person A is crazy, let them be crazy. Why should I be? I don't think. That is the meaning of the blind mind. And I can tell you, if you have a blind mind, you know what we say? You have an obsessed thinking against people, against the situation, against the condition, against the relations. You are harming yourself. You are harming yourself. The moment we have a blind mind, we go on thinking against people, against situation, against what we have. We even forget what we have. And those people make their decisions in life in haste, in reaction. Pure mind makes the decision with clarity, reason, and understanding. Another distinction, another difference, and you all will agree, you can think of it. It happens to everyone. It had happened to everyone. What is that difference? I should use it 2 words. First is imagination and delusion. The lane number 1, the moment I hate you, for example, I have a thought of a hatred, I keep on thinking, and I create an imagination about you. And then I fall into delusion. Imagination and delusion. And we do that kind of negative imagination and delusion about the near and dear ones. If you are doing far ones like me, maximum you will stop attending the session. And a few days you will forget. But that kind of a negative imagination and delusion continues with near and the dear ones. On the other side, the pure mind Pure mind guides us with the right knowledge and right action. We have a chance because we are human beings, we have a choice. Tiger doesn't have a choice, mosquito doesn't have a choice. In pure mind, 3C. Pure mind, it also has 3C. What is 3C? In pure mind has comparison, conflict and confusion. Pure mind has comfortable, carefree and casual. That is why I start all the practices with the 3 steps. So that at least in the beginning, our mind should move to the lane number 2 and it should guide us with clarity, with the knowledge that our essential nature is peace and happiness. In pure mind, comparison, conflict and confusion. Pure mind, comfortable, carefree and casual. You know what happens when we work with all these factors of the pure mind? It takes time. We have to listen to it again and again, and then we see that what I did today. Was I was comfortable, carefree? Did I work with the reason and clarity instead of imagination and delusion? So daily working with the same, I have to think. Thoughts, one group of the thoughts makes the mind pure, and other group of the thoughts makes the mind impure. So sometimes majority of the people, when they are guided by impulses, reaction, they get obsessed with an attachment or detachment or aversion, then they stop thinking. They brand, you are crazy. They don't realize what is happening to their mind. So another principle I'm invoking that we will discuss in detail, that once you are moving into the lane 2, your mind is always free, relaxed, calm, then what happens? I'm summarizing the journey of mindfulness. You are always ready to connect to the existence outside consciously. First, C. Second, you are ready to contribute. You don't contribute the stress, you contribute calmness and peace. Because you connect to the existence, because you contribute to the existence, the result is compassion. One of the main attributes of mindfulness, compassion. My master used to say, stop comparison. Stop comparison in your relations. It is the way your honey is evolving, created by an existence. It is the way existence created you to have a particular state of awareness, to be skillful in some aspect and unskilled in other aspects. So it means I'm not comparing, I'm connecting. See that? I'm connecting, I'm contributing. When I connect to the existence all the time, when I am contributing, what way in contributing? I'm responding. I'm not reacting. That is a contribution. I don't make a decision in a haste. That is another contribution. I have 100% clarity that no one outside is responsible for my stress and suffering. I think and I rethink, I contemplate and reflect until my mind moves into the lane number two. And if that happens, you will see the life changes. That is the beauty of this Eastern wisdom. Let us see, eyes are closed. Let us start our practice now. Eyes are closed and being comfortable. Again, you see that? Being comfortable. I use that phrase again and again and again. Be eyes closed, make your body comfortable, and so how you make the body comfortable, you look at the neck joint. When you are looking at the neck joint and there is no thought, there is simple awareness with the feeling of the neck joint, you are already in lane number 3. Then what is the experience? Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now see the transition from the lane number 1. While listening, you move to the 2, and the result is 3. Everything, my friends, again, be aware. Everything is happening in lane number. Everything is happening in the mind. Move the mind or become aware of the shoulder joints. Be there. Feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Now what I am doing, or what you are doing, what we both are doing, the moment I give the instructions, you start making a transition to the lane number 2. You need not to worry about the lane number 1. Unwanted thoughts are coming, let it come, let it go, let it remain, let it stay. Thought is there, too much, say for example. And I say that look at the shoulder joint, so awareness goes to the shoulder joint, you have started the lane number 2. So don't feel that, oh no, still the thoughts I am not able to control. No need to control. So, awareness and experience, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The mind goes to the hip joint, be there, feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Entire body. So how the mind perceives the entire body, you become aware. Awareness brings the feeling, and that is where the experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness is there. And now when I say being carefree, it is again a way to switch on to the lane number 2. What it means now at present, you are watching the unwanted, unwelcome thoughts in your mind. But you are not carried away by them. You are not hijacked by them. You remain neutral, indifferent. So when that happens, the way we drive on a particular lane, but we are constantly aware of other lanes. I think I'm making it very clear. What is happening on other lanes, that's none of your business. Here, moving on the lane number 2. You remain there. Some thought comes in the sense of reaction, upsurge, but you switch on to the lane number 2. No, negating it. That is the meaning of being carefree. Now see, there is another way. If the mind does not succeed, or mind will say, no, I don't understand you. If I have a thought of anxiety and reaction in a hatred, how can I switch on the lane? Sometimes the mind says that. Why it says that we will talk later. But now we continue the journey on the lane number 2. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. We start thinking, let everyone be happy, including those people with whom we have a reaction or anxiety or duality and a conflict. Let everyone be happy, because happiness is essential nature and everyone is seeking happiness, every living species. Because I am learning Eastern wisdom, my choice is to keep on reflecting that everyone is seeking happiness, and I must seek the happiness not by reaction, anger and anxiety. If others are doing so, that is their problem. You see, that's a way to be indifferent. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be in the state of well-being. From the mosquito I have been telling you, to the elephant and to the tiger and all living species seeking the state of well-being. So my approach of seeking the well-being is to follow this journey of the Eastern wisdom. Means I have to move to the lane number 2. Not to extract the state of well-being from lane number 1, not possible. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. Let the blessing and the grace of the existence fall upon each and every. You think deliberately. In the beginning, it will be a deliberate, and gradually it will add emotions. Ma kasche dukha bhaga bhavid. Let none suffer from misery in this world. Your mind wants to reflect that if we all are living species on this planet, I told you before that it is the thoughts coming from the same alphabets. They are unwanted, unwelcome, and lane number 2, we create a different pattern. Well, if it doesn't work or if it has calmed down a bit, Should I repeat? Yes, we can repeat it. That it means you always remember this mantra, maybe in English, and then since the moment you wake up in the morning, you can do it. But we will continue our journey of the practice. So another approach to move the mind to the lane number 2 is keep your focus or look inside the forehead in the space or emptiness and start breathing quick and short breath from both the nostrils. Keep on doing. We will be doing it for 2 minutes. We want an impact in the brain to shift the lane. And stop it, do nothing. So when you do nothing, simply become aware of the head and the neck. This is another way to directly move to the lane number 3. So you are aware of the head and the neck. Obviously, body part is there, so the mind experiences the sensation, relaxation and stillness. How do I feel it? How do I have a knowledge of the sensation? Obviously, there is a sensation. So a particular sensation, mind confirms it is the relaxation. And there is a sense of stillness is maintained. Why the stillness is maintained? So that the mind do not jump into the lane number 1. It's a very subtle way of understanding. And sometimes people say, if I move my body, then what? Then nothing. Keep on doing it. But don't force it. It is a natural state. The right arm, you are aware of the right arm, be there. Feel the sensation, relaxation and stillness. The mind moves on the left arm, sensation, relaxation and stillness. Mind moves on the rib cage. Awareness is there and you experience sensation, relaxation and stillness. Mind goes to the right belly. You are aware of the belly, sensation, relaxation and stillness. left, right leg, sensation, relaxation and stillness, left leg, sensation, relaxation and stillness. Entire body. It is the lane number 2. It is becoming aware of the body. It is already aware of unwanted, unwelcome thoughts. They are too far. But now you are becoming aware of the entire body. The result is sensation, relaxation and stillness. And if the mind is reactive, it goes back to the lane number 1. And we say, so we don't fight with it. Now we use a very silent means to keep the mind on the lane number 2 and the 3. How? You start breathing deep, deep. What does it mean by deep? You know, silent and slow. When you do the silent, deep silent and slow breath, the mind rise in awareness. One way that I can say, why don't you live in a higher awareness? It doesn't work. But when you are doing the deep, you are paying attention to the breath, which is slow, rhythmic, silent and slow. Now we add one more thing to gain attention. What we add? As you inhale, move the mind with the breath. How you move the mind? From the crown of the head to the tailbone. Imagination, crown of the head to the tailbone. And as you exhale, you move the mind from the tailbone to the crown of the head. If your mind is fully absorbed in the deep silent, slow breathing, it is moving with the mind, you will start feeling the energy sensations around the spine. It is common. It may come today, it may not. But we are not becoming blind to these sensations as something extraordinary. It is extraordinary because the mind is keep on moving the lane number 2, resulting into the lane number 3 of sense of emptiness. The mind still jumps. So as you inhale and the mind is moving from the crown of the head to the tailbone, you drop mentally. Om Shanti during inhalation and also during exhalation. Om Shanti. But if you are doing with the knowledge, you never leave the lane number 3. What is the knowledge? Om is the real self, pure consciousness. Shanti means peace. I believe you all have understood the subtle points of awareness in the journey. So we have never left any opportunity for the mind to remain obsessed with the lane number 1. We gave too much of knowledge, deep silent, slow breath, moving the mind with the breath, moving in the spine, saying Om Shanti, and then knowledge, consciousness is always in peace. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences now. How are you, John?
Hey, Girish. Okay, I had just returned from an event on campus, and that kept interfering with me, and
That is lane number one.
Exactly, and I said I don't want to think about this, and so I tried.
Yes, yes. At least you understood what is happening in the mind.
Exactly.
And that recognition is also very good. At least we recognize where lies the problem.
Yeah.
And by understanding and repeated practice, we can change it. Yes. So every session we get something. It is not that we get nothing. How are you, Mead?
Everything that you said had such clarity.
Very good.
Yes. And I feel that fear just dropping down and away.
Wonderful. Fear belongs to the lane number 1.
Yes.
It is impulsive. There is no fear of unknown. There is no fear of known. There is always a fear of unknown that carries its reaction and anxiety and impulses.
Mm.
So this week, I believe you keep on listening and then analyze your own life. What happened when I reacted? Why these thoughts keep on repeating in my head? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. What is the message? Let me go to the lane number 2. I don't keep on repeating, I don't suppress, I don't control, I don't fight. I just leave it. Let me switch on to the lane number 2. And it demands only an awareness, nothing else.
Mm.
That is all for today. Thank you. Namaste. We will meet. I'm sending this file again to our